There was much fanfare, wasn't there, when South African Airways resumed flights last month. It was grounded for a year and a half, but a few weeks later, SAA staff complaining that the airline's old problems are still there. So let's find out where we are. It's always a pleasure. SAA CEO Thomas Kgokolo joining us this morning. Mr. Kgokolo, good morning to you, and it's great to have SAA back in the air. We're going to talk about the positives. We're going to talk about Kenya Airways. We're going to talk about opening up new routes and new fleets and all those good things. But first, why are your staff unhappy?
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers, and good morning to the loyal customers of SAA. As you are aware that during BRP, there were certain, staff conditions that were changed, that were improved on, and subsequent to that, because these were done while we were not operating. So when we started operating, we realized that there are some gaps in some of these working conditions. And what we have done is that we have started engaging the employees directly together with the union to see where we can improve with those particular working conditions. It will be a journey. And one thing I've always said is that we don't want to be discussing our intimate staff matters in public. We will provide the formal structures and platforms for our staff to engage with management, and we see how we can improve this going forward.
I suppose the problem for you is going to be that that's always good and well, Mr. Kgokolo, but it seems the staff are quite happy to talk in public. I'm not asking for a moment you discuss intricate details of salaries and contract negotiations, but just give me an overview. What are some of the issues they've raised with you? Because they're going to raise it in public. You may as well get ahead of the conversation.
Oh, look, some of the issues were the benefits that staff members used to get in the past, and due to the issues of financial sustainability, we had to relook at those and adjust those. So those are some of the things that we'll continue talking about as well. So there is quite a lot, but a lot of them will be much more in detail with the staff directly.
Let's talk about some new fleets and some new aircraft for the fleet. I'm seeing reports that in order to compete internationally, we all love the old classics, don't we? But maybe it's time for some new shiny aircraft. It's going to be expensive. Business-wise, is that going to make a difference?
Look, it is going to make a difference. First of all, we would like to refresh the product offering that we are giving. The current aircraft that we have will take us to early next year. The long-term plans is to look at the fleet structure and see how we can be able to acquire your fleet, whether through acquisitions or through leases. But at this stage, because we don't have huge funding, it will be more on the lease side. But we haven't determined at what stage we'll bring those. But they'll definitely be necessary, especially if we are going to launch our international routes next year.
You're going to give me a sneak peek about the international routes. Give me one. Where can SAA passengers go? Just give me one key international route we can look forward to.
We're very excited. As you have seen, that London has recently opened. And London is a huge market from a tourism perspective in South Africa. So we are looking at hopefully next year, later next year. If we were to start, I think London is a good route. It has been profitable in the past, and we believe that if we get the right equipment to fly that particular route, it is a route that can also be profitable going forward.
So what's it been like for the airline business once we got back in the air again? It's not all that long ago now. Is it too early to tell if the books are looking better?
It is going to be a journey, but what we are comforted by is that the route to Cape Town has been picking up on average between 70 and 75% load factors. And also the on-time performance, where we measure our on-time arrival and on-time departures, is sitting at an average of over 80%. So that is quite exciting, but it's something that we need to improve towards 100% rate there, of course. The regional routes, they picked up very slowly, but we are gaining momentum now with Accra starting to pick up the load factors. DRC as well is starting to pick up some good load factors. So from a profitability point of view, it's going to be a journey, but we are encouraged that some of our aircraft as well are overbooked. We have started Mauritius, of course, from the beginning of it has already been booked. From the end of November, that's when Mauritius will start. And we've seen some good numbers out of Mauritius, and that is quite exciting. The important thing for us is to keep a good eye on the operating cost so that it doesn't get out of hand. So we are hard at work and making sure that we rationalize the cost base of SAA.
Do you think that's what went wrong last time, and that's why you're trying to be extra careful this time around?
Look, that is one of the things that went wrong. That if you let the cost base get ahead of the revenue, you're bound to sit with losses. And that's why you see that the routes that we have selected are the routes that gives us a better chance of really covering the cost. It is a long way, but yes, it is one of the reasons that led us to where we are now. And we are working hard on making sure that we are renegotiating contracts, on making sure that we are always looking at areas of the business where we can extract value. We are repositioning our lounges, of course. We are looking at how we can do cargo differently so that we can continuously make sure that we thoroughly have sight of this cost that sometimes can be a problem.
Well, anybody who's ever met you in person and knows how you run a business knows that you, Thomas, will have a plan for November, December, and try and capitalize on this push for tourism at the moment. What is SAA doing going into November and December? I know you touched on Mauritius, but I'm sure there's a bigger plan beyond that.
Of course, what we have observed is that the corporate travel is very low. A lot of traveling is around leisure travel. So Mauritius is one of our ideas. We are busy reviewing the Lagos route. And what we've also done, we are partnering with some of the hotel groups, some of the leisure groups, to ensure that we can offer a package where people can travel as a family, people can travel as a group, so that we can ensure that we can boost indeed the leisure side of traveling.
And tell me about the partnership, Kenya Airways and South African Airways. There's a lot of airlines in Africa. Why Kenya Airways? What are they bringing to the party?
Look, Kenya Airways, we believe that from geographical location in the continent is a good partner. Our view is that a lot of airlines in the SADC region have approached the market individually. And that strategy has failed, and I think it will fail going forward. So we believe that with collaboration, where we can share expertise, where we can share equipment, whether on the passenger side of flying or also the maintenance side capabilities, of course, and also on the cargo side. And we believe that Kenyan Airways has got some of the capabilities that have built. We also have our own, and the synergies between the two airlines will definitely make us a formidable force. But it is not only with Kenyan Airways. We are also looking at other airlines that we can cooperate with within the region of Africa and make sure that we've got economies of scale, we've got buying power, negotiating power, and we can also stimulate the travel frequencies within the continent, of course. So it's much more collaboration to share synergies amongst countries and also take advantage of geographical locations and capabilities that each country possesses and bring to the table.
I'm so glad you used the word synergies, Thomas. Let's talk about Takatso Consortium. How's that synergy going?
Synergy is progressing. Where we are is that, remember, the last time we chatted, we were doing due diligence. We have finalized that in terms of assets management, providing documents, information that can be used to do the valuation for the business. Where we are now, and based on what Takatso has announced, is that there's negotiations of what we call a share purchase agreement. And I think when the time comes, which is right, then we'll get the announcement in terms of how do those negotiations go. For us as management, we are eagerly waiting for that so that at least it can give us direction in terms of where we can head to, in terms of our expansions and looking at new markets as well, and also getting support from the consortium on the expertise side.
So we've spoken about what's happening from the technical side, from the flight route side of being back in the air, Mauritius, all these good things. There's still some issues on the ground, though, isn't there? NUMSA and SACA, South African Cabin Crew Association. It seems they're very unhappy with the conditions at SAA, and I'm sure you're going to tell me, Thomas, this was something that you were dealing with before, but you're still dealing with it now. Where are we on this?
Look, I mean, remember, we are new management, and as new management, we'll have different ways of doing things. The important thing is that the old way of doing things at SAA, we are removing it, we are bringing in a new culture. And when you bring a new culture, it can take a while. So what is important is that we have put in new formal structures where we can engage with the unions. We believe that the unions play a key role in improving the working condition of our workers and, more importantly, delivering service to our customers. So we don't take them for granted, and that's why we have created platforms where we'll engage with them. I mean, some of them are starting as early as next month, so that we can get into the details of how we can together improve the working conditions, because the key thing towards our service delivery is that employees need to have good working conditions, and will continuously work as new management to improve that. But we must appreciate that as new management, we are going to bring new ways of doing things with the prospect of making sure that customer service is improved and also employees are well looked after.
And we need to, of course, talk about the sister company, if you will, the low-cost airline, respectfully. Thomas, Mango, latest there as well. We're all watching SAA's recovery and hoping for the very best. What's happening with Mango?
Look, Mango and the overall subsidiaries, where we are with Mango, remember Mango is in a business rescue process. What we have been doing and engaging with the BRP practitioner that side is that the consultations with the creditors has started. The consultations with the employee representative has started. And the expectation is that towards the end of this month, we'll get a business plan. And that business plan will give us direction in terms of how the future of Mango looks like. On air chefs and South African technical side, the Section 189 consultations with the labor has taken place, and in some instances, it is still continuing as well. We believe that within the course of this month, we should get some announcement in terms of the impact that Section 189 will have on the organization and how the new structures of these two subsidiaries will be going forward. But we continue to support them, and we continue to make sure that we engage at whichever level that we are able to.
All right, Thomas, last 30 seconds to you. You think it's going to be a Merry Christmas for SAA before I say goodbye?
It's going to be a Merry Christmas. By the looks of the numbers and the bookings, the customers are still there. The customers love us. We are quite excited. What we'll do from our side, what we promise to do, is to commit to good service, to improve. And I'll appreciate any feedback of any customer based on their experience on our aircraft, so that we can continuously challenge ourselves to improve. But we are eagerly excited. The numbers that we see booking for December and January for the holiday season give us hope that we are able to turn around this particular brand of ours called SAA.
And there you have it from Thomas Kgokolo from SAA as well, the CEO, saying if there's anything you want them to know about you, get hold of them. They want your feedback as far as SAA is concerned. My thanks to Thomas for taking time to speak to us about SAA, Mango, new routes, new aircraft apparently going to be coming into the fleet as well, in the hope of capturing more international markets. So it's good news, but of course always still issues when it comes to unions and staff. But it seems they are aware of it and they're trying to do their best they can with it. All right, Nandi.